नमस्ते, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल and hello. मैं हूं आपकी परिक्रमा होस्ट दर्शन कौर, here to present the next episode of our ongoing series, क्या भूलूं क्या याद करूं. We have yet another very special guest in our studio today. He grew up in Kenya, studied in Bombay, which is now called Mumbai, and London. He has also lived in London, Florida, and presently lives in Atlanta with his family and calls himself an accidental journalist. He started by writing for Indian American Cultural Association, which is IACA's Voice of India, and Gujarati Samaj of Atlanta's Darpan, India Tribune, and he continues to write as a freelance journalist for our very own Atlanta Dunya, Khabar magazine, NRI Pulse newspaper, Desi Express, and Rashtra Darpan publications. He has covered various events with Bollywood stars such as Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, you name it, noted singers, dignitaries from different walks of life in the US and from abroad as well, politicians, public figures, spiritual leaders such as the Dalai Lama, social activists, stage actors, and famed author and poets. It is my honor to present to you Mr. Mahadev Desai. Welcome, Mahadev ji.
Namaste Darshan ji and happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to you also.
I feel honored, humbled and very touched by this kind invitation to appear on Parikrama talk show. And I would like to thank Atlanta Dunya, Kailash ji, Nisha ji and you for hosting this event. And I look forward to answering your questions, to being grilled by you. I am sitting in a hot seat now, and I hope that at the end I will become a crorepati.
I think आप गलत शो सोच के आ गए, but never mind. हम आपको कितने करोड़ों लोगों के दिलों में करोड़पति बनाएंगे. So how about that?
It is a very auspicious day, and I am very happy that we are meeting on Ganesh Chaturthi day.
जी बिल्कुल.
And,
It's my pleasure as well.
yes. And I would like to thank you for a very flattering introduction, and you have given a nice gist of what I have been doing in my journalistic career.
Every word that I said is true. So इसमें flattery वाली कोई बात नहीं है. Every word is true. So since we're talking about journalism, you have said, I have actually read all the articles that you write in Atlanta Dunya. I always read them, and I have read about you as well. So you have said that journalism for you was a leap of faith. So what really made you take this leap towards journalism?
Yes. You know, my wife and I moved to Atlanta in 1990. And for first 4 years, I helped my son-in-law, who was running a software business. So I used to go to the office and do his payroll and various other services. But after the lease expired, he closed down the business. So I decided to retire, and I was at a loose end, what to do. And suddenly I came across the copy of Voice of India, and I had a look at it, and I said, let me try sending a small piece. And I did that, and it was published. And then I did the same with Darpan magazine. And afterwards, I heard that Prashant Shah of India Tribune in Chicago was thinking of, starting an Atlanta edition. So I approached Mustafa Bhai, and I Mustafa Bhai requested me to submit 2, 3 samples of my writing, which I did. He forwarded it to Prashant Bhai. He read it and he took me on as a journalist for India Tribune. So that is how I got into journalism.
So follow up question to that.
जी
उस टाइम की जर्नलिज्म और अभी की जर्नलिज्म में क्या डिफरेंस है? Tell us. You have been doing it for so many years, so you are well positioned to tell us the difference between then and now.
Sure. There is a world of difference. Uh, in the early years, we did not have all these email and all these, technical, all these gadgets. So, you know, the report had to be typed, then it had to be faxed. We also had to, load a film in the camera, take pictures, and then go to a studio, get them developed, go to a FedEx, you know, or mail it to Chicago. Because of, distance and, there were no emails. So the only way to contact was through telephone or through fax. And the report used to be retyped at the other end, and that caused several errors. But I had no control over that. So that was then. Nowadays, we have this email, and we have spell checkers, and we have digital cameras and all kind of help for the journalist. So it is a lot quicker. So
No, definitely. Because मैं वही सोच रही थी when you were telling me how you had to go and type everything and then fax it or go to FedEx and all that stuff. तो मैं सोच रही थी मुझे जब किसी को इंटरव्यू करना होता my biggest challenge is आज क्या पहनूं बालों में कौन सा फूल लगाऊं. I never have to worry about FedEx जाना है ये करना है. So how much technology has changed our lives, right?
and the other problem was driving, because I was not going out much, and I was not familiar with different locations. And most of our events start in the evening after 7 o'clock or so, and some of them are far off, and there was no GPS. So and sometimes it is raining, it is cold. I missed the destinations several times, and it was very frustrating. And sometime I would drive at breakneck speed, reach there in time, but the program would not start, for half an hour or 1 hour, because they are always struggling with lighting and sound system and so on. So and parking, and but now with the GPS and all that, things have become, and slowly I uh, got the addresses right, and I could have become a Uber driver then.
अब so alternate career path जिसको बोलते हैं, right? So actually, I have a question for you on that since you mentioned events. So how many events on an average used to happen in those days? What were the major events? Or abhi aapne, because you've been covering for the last 2.5 decades or more. So what is the difference you see abhi ab jo events hote hain, what is in the number and quality and quantity of events between then and now?
Yes. In the beginning, I was very enthusiastic, and, I wanted to, learn more about journalism. And, I used to go and see Mustafa Bhai at the office, and Mustafa Bhai would, tell me that there is a program at such and such place, so and so is coming. So how about going and covering it? So I used to cover about 4 events every weekend, and sometime during weekday as well. But now then slowly, it became repetitious. uh, you go to a particular organization and they have similar events, after a couple of months. So, the novelty wears off, and there is not much, to write about. So slowly I gave up those, and I only focused on important events when we had, some, visitors from India, some celebrities, some, movie Bollywood actors, some stage actors, some singers, and some, spiritual leaders. So I only concentrated on big events, Festival of India and Gandhi Foundation events, opening ceremonies of temples in India, in Atlanta, and so on.
तो एक क्वेश्चन, जब आप आए थे, when you first came here and you started covering events, were there equal number of events? Like अभी मेरी problem तो ये रहती है, there are so many events happening in the same day that we have to cover all of them to run around from one to the other. So
Yes.
उस वक्त जब आप आए थे शुरू में, you still cover events, but उस वक्त कितने events होते होंगे on an average?
Yeah, when I started, there were fewer associations than now. Now we have more than 100 associations. But that time, maybe there were 30 or 35 associations. So there were not many events. And I don't think I ever covered two events on the same day. So mostly it used to be one event a day, and mostly at the weekends.
Okay. तो अभी काफी क्वांटिटी और क्वालिटी सब चीज में फर्क पड़ गया है ओवर टाइम,
And
राइट?
Darshanji, some events were longer, like AHA convention or Jain Samaj convention, which would be 3-day convention or 4-day convention. So those took longer, to cover.
Right.
But some were just for a particular evening, maybe 2 or 3 hour events. So that was easier to cover.
Right. So उस वक्त since you have seen the community like grow over the years as well by virtue of covering so many events, how was the community back then versus now? आप क्या फर्क देख रहे हैं?
Yes, the community is growing exponentially now, and those during those times we had a fair share of people from all over India, but nowadays there is more of IT people moving in, and especially from South India. So we have more Tamil people, Telugu people, from Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and from Chennai, and so on. During those days, they were mostly from North India. So, Delhi and Rajasthan and, Lucknow and Gujarat and places like that. Gujarati community was pretty strong at that time.
जी. So गुजरात से याद आया, आप खुद गुजराती कम्युनिटी को बिलोंग करते हैं, but you are from you are Gujarati origin, but that you were born in a different country, you were raised in different countries. So briefly take us through your journey from being in different countries all the way to making it to Atlanta.
Yes, it is a long story, but my father, after graduating in Mumbai, he got married, and my father, my mother, and my elder brother, they moved to East Africa for better prospects. And, I was born in Dar es Salaam in Tanganyika. Now it is called Tanzania because it is Tanganyika and Zanzibar. So I was born there, and my father taught in Aga Khan Secondary School, and I attended Arya Samaj Primary School. And I just went to the school for 3, 4 years. And when I was 9 years old, uh, my dad took a job with the Supreme Court, which was in Nairobi, Kenya. So when I was 9 years old, we moved to Nairobi. In Dar es Salaam, I have very few memories, but I enjoyed going to the primary school and attending the extracurricular activities. And at weekends, we used to go to the beach and go watch cricket matches and go on picnics and so on. And in Nairobi, I, attended I continued with the primary school and then went on to secondary school. And
Did you play cricket even in school in Nairobi? Did you play cricket there too? Since you mentioned cricket from your earlier days.
Sorry, I didn't catch you.
Did you play cricket? You said that you.
Oh, yes, most certainly. Cricket has been my favorite sports. And, the school was like an English school. We had sports grounds for cricket, field hockey, volleyball, football, and so on. And I was selected for the cricket team. So I played a lot of cricket. And I also played for a club in Nairobi. And even for Indian community, cricket was a very favorite sport. Cricket and Bollywood, just as in India. And, school it was also like, school in India. We had teachers from India, from Pakistan, and it was all, rote learning, chalk and talk, and just, rote learning and pass the examinations. And at the end of secondary school, we took senior Cambridge and London matriculation exams, which, I passed. And so, and
Mumbai. How did you get to Mumbai? You mentioned, I read that you were in Mumbai as well.
yes. So before that, life in Nairobi, my father, used to travel a lot, and he was also a good journalist. He did not write for any newspaper, but he used to travel to new places, and then he would write letters about it and describe his travels and send it to our community magazine, his letters were published. He also used to give talk on radio about education subjects for school children. So that was an interesting part. Now, after completing my secondary education, we did not have any colleges at the time. So, all those who, graduated from school, high school, either went to England or India. Now, my father could not afford, paying for my, education in England. So, I decided to go to Mumbai. And luckily, I got admission in Sydenham College, the iconic college for commerce and economics. It is a government college and very, very popular. So I got admission there. I was also lucky to get bursary from Kenya government, which helped me pay my fees. And then Bombay was completely different from Nairobi. It was a bustling, booming city, lot of energy, happening city, lot of, all, 24 hours, all kinds of activities going on. And I was in a boys' hostel. There were 60 other students from all over India. So we had very exciting times. In the beginning, I had a little problem with adjustment and even traveling, we had to travel by ship, which took about 12 days. And, on my first voyage, I felt very homesick. I felt seasick, but slowly we got used to traveling.
सॉरी, मेरे को आपसे यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है मुंबई के बारे में. आई
जी.
थिंक आई हैव सेड दिस टू यू अर्लियर, लेकिन आप इतने हैंडसम हैं. आपकी यू रिमाइंड मी ऑफ दैट अर्सवाइल हीरो अशोक कुमार जी. बहुत ज्यादा रिजेम्बलेंस. तो
Thank you.
आप इतने सो सच ए हैंडसम गाय, आपने बॉलीवुड में जाने की क्यों नहीं सोची, सिंस यू वर इन मुंबई एनी हाउ?
No, I was more in sports rather than acting or I mean, of course I went to watch Bollywood, Devanand, and they were very hot at the time. Raj Kapoor.
Not hotter than you, I can assure you.
Yeah, maybe I did not find any Madhubala to attract me into movies. But so, adjusting to the, life in college life, in a hostel, we had to get up, have tea at 8 o'clock and then lunch at 10 o'clock, which I was not used to. So I used to have a quick, light lunch and then take either a bus or a tram or a train to go to college. And none of them took me right to the college. So part of my journey, I had to walk, And in the beginning, because I was young, I used to move around London, Mumbai, and explore all the different areas of Mumbai. And
Right.
and in college, I was again picked for the college team. So I played a lot of cricket. I missed many classes in the afternoon because we used to have cricket practice and coaching and so on. But
पर आपने कभी एटलांटा में क्रिकेट खेला? आप मुंबई तो लॉन्ग टाइम बैक. डिड यू एवर प्ले क्रिकेट
no,
हियर?
I did not play any cricket in Atlanta, but I did play a little bit of golf and tennis, but not cricket. Because I think I was past that age, running and wearing the.
मैं आपको I'm telling you, could have had so many alternate paths. आप बॉलीवुड एक्टर बन सकते थे, आप क्रिकेटर बन सकते थे, आप you there are so many different paths and you would have excelled in everything, I'm sure. So अभी
Darshan
आप
ji, cricket mein there is a lot of competition. When my father used to say that there are more than 11 crore Indians and only 11 people are picked for cricket. But, I would not listen to his advice and, I would not give up cricket for anything. Even before my examination, day before, I, went and played, cricket match. And even in Mumbai, I played with some of the Indian test cricketers. So, and played intercollegiate cricket matches,
So how did you get from Mumbai to London and then from London to Atlanta?
So, yeah. So, Mumbai was only for 4 years. And, I took the final exam and I failed for the first time because of cricket. I got only 9 marks out of 100 in accountancy. And I would have been kicked out of the, hostel because once you take the exam, they have to take new students. But the college was very kind enough to give me 6 more months, and I gave up cricket and just studied hard and just managed to scrape through. But I very much enjoyed my life in Mumbai, and I participated in many activities, and I went to beaches and plays and concerts and Bollywood movies, and so because everything was exciting. I was never exposed to all these things in Nairobi when I was a student. So I was making the most of it. I
राइट,
mean, of course,
लंदन आपको फिर कैसा लगा? अगर यू फाउंड मुंबई एक्साइटिंग, यू वुड हैव फाउंड लंदन इवन मोर एक्साइटिंग, आई थिंक, राइट?
well, London, my first visit was again as a student. I was, Kenya was short of teachers, and they were they just got their independence, and Africanization was taking place, and they wanted teachers from Indian and African communities, because all the white expatriate teachers were leaving. So I applied for, I did some, table jobs, accounting, taxation, and so on. But my heart was in teaching. So I told my dad that I want to go into teaching. Again, I was lucky to get, financial aid from Kenya government, and I got 1 year, scholarship for teacher diploma. So I went to London. I joined a teaching, college, and I learned. I underwent the teaching course, and I also had to do some teaching practice. At first I was very nervous, to teach English, boys and girls, grown up, adolescent, and I was worried about discipline problems and, about my accent and so on. But I guess my supervisors told them that, I wasn't teaching practice, so they were very kind to me, and I used to tell them about East Africa and taught them some African words and kept them amused. So, and I completed my teacher training course. And again, uh, I had to leave the hostel. The hostel was different from Mumbai. I was in a teaching in a residential block, and I was very lonely. The weather was very dismal, very gloomy, rain and cold, and especially during winter, snow and so on. And I did not phone. All I had to rely was a letter which came after 3 weeks or maybe a month later. And and I did not have many friends, because they were on there for short period. I had a few friends from India and Africa. So I felt very homesick. I was married at that time, so I missed my wife. I missed my young daughter.
You missed your Madhubala. That's
So, but anyway, and my brother had posted me my return ticket, but there was a huge postal strike. So again, I had to. It lasted for more than 3 weeks. So I had to quit the, college, and luckily my three friends put me up for 1 week, and then India consulate, in London, they had a small, accommodation for overseas students. So, the consul was very kind. He understood my problem that I was waiting for the ticket, so he allowed me to stay in the consulate, and that gave me some time to explore London. I went to art galleries, museums, parks, and so on.
So how did you get from London to Atlanta? Like, we want to bring you back here to Atlanta.
Yes. So, after returning from London, I taught in Kenya Polytechnic for 10 years, which was the most enjoyable period of my life. And, I started some extracurricular activities for my students. I had Indian students and African students, boys and girls, again, adolescents. And I also taught some professional students who were coming from offices. And I again started a cricket team for the Kenya Polytechnic. We won some prizes. So I enjoyed that teaching period. Then after that, Kenya had got independence. We had to choose either to become Kenya citizen or hang on to our British passports. So I was not keen on staying in Kenya forever. So my wife and my daughter, we decided to move to London. So we moved to London in 1974, and I spent 16 years in London. We had our own house, and again I did accountancy and a taxation job. I did not play cricket in London or any other major sports. But life was good except the weather. Again, the you can't escape the weather. So, and, but culturally, London is a very rich country. You know, operas, plays, museums and art galleries, and there is so much to see. And it is a paradise. For tourists. And
Right. But you cannot beat the weather here in Atlanta, right? I
yeah,
I
sure.
I am sure कि आप जहाँ जहाँ भी रहे हैं सबसे ज्यादा अच्छा मौसम आपको अटलांटा में ही मिला होगा, right? Am I right?
Yes. So, after 1990, my daughter had already left London, and she came here. She, did nursing, and she and my son-in-law, they got married. They were, both of them were well settled in Atlanta. So they, wrote to me and said, my wife and I, we were in London. They asked us to move to Atlanta. So they sponsored us. So we decided to move here. So we came here in 1990, and now both of us are, American citizens. So that is how we ended up in Atlanta.
जी तो अभी अटलांटा से मुझे एक और क्वेश्चन याद आया बिकॉज यू बीन हियर अ रियली लॉन्ग टाइम आई मीन 1990 में आए अब तो सो आर देयर एनी कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स हु आर नो लॉन्गर विद अस जो who were kind of who played a role in your life, who were influential in your life or who you remember? हमारी सीरीज का नाम ही यही है, क्या भूलूं क्या याद करूं। तो कुछ कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो अभी नहीं हैं जिनको आप याद करते हैं from our community from back in those days?
Yeah, the main person I miss most is Giriraj Rao. You might have heard of Giriraj Rao, and but I had friends, and fortunately, not many of my friends have passed away. But I have friends, uh, you know, from those whom you can call pioneers, and whom I know well and whom I interact frequently with. like Subhash Razdan, and Mustafa Ajmeri, and there are many like Chand Akineni and Paddy Sharma, and there are many, you know, many in Prakash Desai, and many in IACA, Gujarati Samaj, Ritesh Desai, and so many I can you know I can remember, and there are in other communities as well, you know Dr. Ganga Sani, and this Narendra Reddy ji,
जी
and Sujatha Reddy, and uh, then Gujarati Samaj, and so there are many.
जी तो जैसे मैंने जैसे मैंने बोला कि हमारी सीरीज का नाम है क्या भूलूंगा याद करूं, आपने काफी लोगों को याद किया. इज देयर एनी इंसिडेंट, मतलब लोग तो मैं नहीं कहूंगी, बट आर देयर एनी इंसिडेंट और समथिंग दैट हैपेंड दैट यू वुड लाइक टू फॉरगेट? कुछ ऐसा है कि जिसको आप, और यू समथिंग यू वुड रादर नॉट रिमेम्बर, कि आप उसको भूलना पसंद प्रेफर करेंगे?
No, on the whole, I I have been very happy. I don't remember any bad incident. The only thing is, you know, there are certain things which are beyond your control, and Darshanji, you know that when there is event, there are many names to remember, many names to mention in the report, because there are so many volunteers working behind the stage. So, when you write a report, I would try to cover as many names as I could, but you have no control over the editors. So, sometime, because of space constraints, I don't blame the editors, but because of space constraint, they would chop off some of the lines, some of the paragraphs, and inadvertently, some of the names would would miss out. So, after the report is published, I would get a telephone call. Oh, you did not mention my name. I did this. So, I had to put out some fires, or, such and such a person sang a song, you mentioned such and such a person. Or not. So, small things like that. But there was nothing that serious. I mean, I did not have any big quarrel, so.
So, आपको, the reason I asked this question is because, as you know, I mean, I'm very influenced by you. I told you I've been reading your articles. आपकी जो भी event coverage मैं पढ़ती हूँ, and I find it very thorough. You have a very unique and eloquent command on the language. So I've even roped you in कि जब भी I finish writing my book, आपको edit करनी पड़ेगी. You're so good. So but that was the reason I asked, because as I am starting to get into this field, I needed that piece of advice, because I was like, महादेव जी से पूछती हूँ कि how did he tackle people like when लोग इस फील्ड में क्या होता है, लोग नाराज भी हो जाते हैं. So that's what you just mentioned, कि कभी कोई नाराज भी हो जाता है कि अरे this is how I expected my coverage to be and you didn't do it this way. So I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us today. As I just mentioned, आपके लिए बहुत सारे सवाल है, लेकिन वही है कि समय हमेशा कम पड़ जाता है. So I hope that someday we'll have you back again, so that we can ask you even more questions.
Yeah, but quickly, if you allow me, Darshanji, I would like to thank all the editors, all the photographers, all my media colleagues, my son-in-law, my daughter, my granddaughter, and all my readers, all who have, motivated me. And, people like Subhash Razdan, Mustafa Ji, Parthiv Parekh, or, all these mentors, Veena Rao Ji, all those, who have given me, encouragement and motivation. And so I know I would very much like to thank these people. And I would also like more young people to step forward into journalism. And it is very hard work, and you cannot be a journalist overnight. It needs a lot of hard work, patience. You have to be very factual, very honest in reporting. But there are many rewards, and there is inner satisfaction, and you meet so many interesting people, and it is a great learning process. When I started journalism, I knew very little thing about the world. So the general knowledge, you learn so much about India and about other countries. So that is very satisfying.
Right. And for me,
We have also Anjali Chabaria, and I would also like to thank
see,
her.
for me, it has been very satisfying to learn more about you because आज की इस conversation के through and also reading more about you, I found so much about you, and you've been truly inspiring. आपने अपने अपने mentors के नाम लिए, मैं तो कहूँगी आप मेरे mentor हो because I'm just so inspired by you. And I would like to end with these words that I actually read that you have written, and I would like to quote them. I have always believed that a journalist must always strive to be impartial, fair, objective, informative, and engaging. So these are your words, और मैंने इन words को एक bold में अपने laptop पे लगा लिया है सामने, because that is what I strive to be, कि no matter कि मेरा personal bias कुछ है या कुछ भी है, everybody has personal opinions, but I always want that when I interview people of any political party or any modality or anything, that my personal opinion or bias doesn't ever show through in my work. और ये मैंने आपसे सीखा है.
Yes,
So I really want to thank you once again
yes.
for being our guest today. I have had the opportunity to learn so much about you and so much from you.
Sure,
So
Darshanaji, yes. And my, again, my final, this thing, my apologies to all those whose names I might have missed, because, as I said, there are so many I would like to remember, to thank, and so on. But because of time limit, and again, I deeply thank you, for inviting me today. And I also thank Kailash ji, who has been very supportive to me in my journalist, career. So, and
तो इसके साथ ही हम आपको 1 करोड़ थैंक यूज देते हैं, और क्योंकि आपने कहा था कि आप जब ये शो खत्म होगा तो आप आपके पास आप यू विल बी अ करोड़पति. सो यू हैव वन 1 करोड़ हार्ट्स एंड यू हैव 1 करोड़ थैंक यूज फ्रॉम अस. सो थैंक यू सो मच महादेव जी. और मैं दर्शन कौर इसके साथ ही आपसे इजाजत लेती हूँ. हमेशा मुस्कुराते रहिए, हंसते रहिए, खुश रहिए. आई विल सी यू नेक्स्ट टाइम.
gee, thank you, and you too. Thank you, Darshan.